Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We are passionate about helping people with business and accounting. In today's video, I want to share with you guys my PPP second draw experience. So if you're interested, keep on watching. So I'm pretty sure I shared this in a previous video, but I decided to find a different lender for my second draw PPP loan. And the reason why was because my lender that I got my PPP 1 loan with, they wanted me to move all of my business accounts to them. And I just didn't want to go through that. I didn't want to go through that hassle of having to move everything just for this loan. And so I researched some lenders and I ended up going with the lender where our business relationship is with. And the process with them was they wanted you to fill out a link and then they were gonna basically put you on a wait list. And then as they're taking applications, it's basically on a first come, first serve basis. So finally I get the link saying you have a portal, go ahead and apply. So when I applied, the loan was very simple. The portal was very simple. They wanted your name, the business name, some personal information, and it was very easy to do. Then in the portal, they wanted you to upload the PPP application. So if you don't know what that looks like, check out this side of the screen and you'll be able to see what that looks like. But basically they wanted you to fill out this PDF form, so this exact form, and upload it to their portal. Along with that form, they wanted you to upload an attestation. So I'm actually going to share that form with you. I did redact the bank information, obviously for security reasons and personal reasons. I don't want that information floating around the internet, but I do want you guys to know what you're getting yourself into. And I'm sure banks are doing it differently, but I'm sure some of these processes are the same. So if your bank is like mine and they want you to sign this form, I want you guys to be prepared for it. So let's head over to the computer and take a look at this form. So the first part of the attestation is basically they want to confirm that you are not working with an agent. So the second paragraph in this form is basically saying that you are not relying on the bank's calculation for your PPP loan. The third paragraph is that the borrower recognizes and agrees that neither the bank or any of its affiliates, employees, officers, agents, representatives have made any warranties or promises regarding the PPP loan. And then the last bullet point paragraph is saying that if you're getting a second loan and you want to use the same information from the first loan, then you need to initial this box. And they're saying that even if you're taking 2019 information, you need to be able to prove that you were still in business in February 15th of 2020. And then you are basically acknowledging that you agree with this form, this attestation form, and all associated PPP applications and documents that were sent to the bank electronically, means that you are intending to be legally bound with the same force of effect of the PPP documents. The words execution, sign, signature, delivery, and words of like import or relating to PPP documents and transactions contemplated whereby and thereby shall be deemed to include an electronic signature, deliveries, or the keeping of records in the electronic form, each of which shall be the same legal effect, validity as a manually signed form. So basically, just because this is electronic doesn't mean you are not liable. It's basically the same as if you were signing a paper document. And then upon written request of the bank, you shall promptly deliver to the bank any original manually executed originals of the PPP documents. Your failure to provide such original signatures in a reasonable period of time shall constitute a default. And then you have to sign and date the form. So that was the next thing I had to do, and upload this to the portal. Before we move on any further in this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. It means the world to us that you are subscribed, and it motivates us to continue to put out content for you. So if you haven't given this video a like, please consider doing that as well. And now let's head back to the video. And then also attached to in the portal, because there was several attachments, was a PPP loan calculation. And so actually, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I didn't fill this form out because I already knew what my loan amount was going to be. So I just put it on the application. But then when I got the email from the lender, they wanted me to fill out this spreadsheet. So I went ahead and did it. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So this is for the second draw, which is what I was personally doing. So I had to put my name, and then the date of the calculation, and then the date of the formation. And then I've inputted what quarters I was going to do the gross receipt comparison. And if you haven't checked out this video on our YouTube channel about how to calculate any reduction in income using QuickBooks Online, I highly recommend that you check that video out. It was super helpful for me when I applied for PPP because I simply just took that report and plugged in the numbers on this spreadsheet. But what the spreadsheet did was I had to pick a quarter. So I picked the 2 quarters and then I entered the amount in them, and this spreadsheet actually calculates the percentage of reduction, which matched my QBO report. Okay. And then, so the first question that they asked is the borrower a new entity defined as in operations as of February 15th, 2020, but did not exist during the first year period preceding February 15th, 2020. So for me, that was no. And then, are you a seasonal business? I put no. Does the borrower's industry code begin with 72? For me, it did not, but for you, it may. And then it had the payroll costs. So that's excluding self-employment. So this tab on the spreadsheet that I was using was for S corporations, not Schedule C filers. So we plugged in our payroll costs and then the number of months included in the employer's payroll cost above. So for me, I took 2019, so I divided it by 12 months, or I put in 12 here. And then payroll commissions, we didn't have, like above 100,000, you would put that there. Any compensation paid to independent contractors needs to be excluded here because independent contractors are not W-2 employees, so you cannot include those costs in your PPP calculation. So if you had any employees that reside outside of the US, you had to put that amount there. And then let's see, partnerships. So total eligible employee payroll costs. So once you've put in all your numbers, that will calculate there. So that's that. And then partnerships and LLC's active partner self-employment income from K1, unreimbursed partnership expenses claim not to exceed 100,000 per partner. So you'd put that there. So then this would all calculate if you were a partnership. I'm not, so for me that was not applicable. And then it had the amount at the bottom, so what I would request for my PPP loan. Okay, so that was the calculator. So after all of the documentation was submitted, I get a first email from the relationship banker. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I was a little confused by this email. So let's pull it up and let's take a look. So I did redact, obviously, her information and the bank information, just for security reasons. But what she said was, I'm in the process of reviewing your loan application and processing documents. However, there are a few corrections and additional documents that I need from you. I honestly think this is a standard template because she had my name in twice. And I don't think that they actually reviewed my loan application. This is not throwing shade to my banker. She was great to work with, but some of the stuff that are in here was already on the application, which prompted me to think that this is their initial email. So she says, I provided a list of items that will need to be included and or corrected to continue your application. Please provide the following corrections to your application. I have provided a list of items that need to be included for a PPP application. Please provide the corrections. So you can see like some of this stuff is like duplicated. So again, I was very confused. And then she says, please complete and provide the following. So include the full 9-digit zip code. Do not include dashes. And so I was like, okay. She didn't state if she wanted this on the application or on the portal. So you can't add additional numbers to the portal. So I assumed it was the application. So I went ahead and did that on the PDF application. And then she wanted to provide the year of establishment. Well, that was already on the application. And then she says, on the application, please only select one entity type. So there was one entity type selected, which was our business entity. And then digitally initial in the blank spaces on questions 4 and 5. So on the application itself, that has blanks that need to be initialed, which that was completed. And then remove initials from the 4th space of the attestation if you will not be requesting a different amount. I was not requesting a different amount, so I did not remove my initials from that form that we looked at. Provide 2019 941s for all quarters. So as an S corporation, you have to provide all of the 4th quarters if you're going to use 2019's information. And then how to calculate your loan amount. So review your 2019 941s and add up line 5C, column 1 for all 4 years, then divide that by 12. This is your average monthly payroll amount. Next, multiply that by 2.5 to get your loan request amount. And then it says complete the loan calculator and correct the totals on the application. The application, calculator, and tax documents must all match, which they did. I did not do that. I'm going to be honest with you guys, because my payroll reports and my tax forms, they match. And so I just took my payroll reports and made sure that that information matched against the calculator, which it did, and just use that. And then it says provide proof of operating activity on or around February 15th. I sent them my 941s for the 1st quarter of 2020, and then provide state unemployment documentations for each quarter. I did that as well. So all of this had to be uploaded to the system after the initial upload of the portal. And then it says on the calculator, and this is split, and I'm sorry that it showed up like this. When I converted the email to a PDF, that's what it did. But it says on the calculator and the application, applicants requesting a loan amount of $150,000 or less are not required to provide receipts for gross reduction. However, if you wish to complete the gross reduction section, you will need to provide the bank statements for the corresponding quarters and sign and date each page. If not, please leave this section blank on both the application and the calculator. So I went ahead and did that because I already have my bank statements available, and speaking to another banker, this is something that they're gonna need when you're going through the process for forgiveness. So I know they're gonna need that information anyway, so I went ahead and provided it. So if you're gonna get a PPP loan and this is your second draw, then be prepared to be able to prove a reduction in gross receipts and the fact that they wanted bank statements and you to sign and date every bank statement. So just be prepared. If you don't have those bank statements, I would start tracking them down now. And so after all of this information was responded, so I basically had to respond to this email and let her know, hey, this is already done. Yep, this was done on this. And the only thing I really had to change on my PPP application was adding the additional 4 numbers to the zip code without a dash. So keep that in mind if that's something you think you might have to do. But I did get an email from her that reads, Stephanie, good news. Our approval team has sent your application to the SBA for review. I will follow up with you once SBA approves your application. So basically the next step after it's been submitted, my relationship banker will forward my application to their underwriters or whoever processes their loans. And then once they've looked at everything and everything looks like it's in order, then they send it to SBA. SBA will review my loan and then issue, I guess, a response to the bank, and then I will get my funding. So that's kind of the way it was explained to me when I had my call, because she did call me before she sent this email just to let me know of the next steps, which I thought was pretty great. I hope you found my experience helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing to our channel. Give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.